Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Got Whips. This is episode number 94. I am your host, Nicci, and I am coming to you from Berlin, Wisconsin. Today is April 15th. It is a beautiful Saturday here in Wisconsin. It's 82 degrees, which is kind of warm for this early in the year, so bear with me. I do have the window open. I'm sorry if you hear any outside noise. And of course, with the dog, people are walking around, you might hear him bark. I did shut the bedroom door, so hopefully that tunes it out. I will apologize now. So, obviously Heather is not with me right now, so I'd like to take the time in a few minutes to explain why. Nothing horrible has happened, know that. But I would like to get through admin and then I'll update you on that stuff. So I'd like to thank all new and returning viewers. I appreciate you coming to check me out. This is a podcast about my knitting and crocheting. I used to do all my crafts here, but I've decided to do a separate floss tube for the cross stitching for those of you who aren't here to see that. And I know sometimes the people who are into cross stitch don't want to see the knitting, vice versa. So I'm just going to separate the two. So I will show my progress from last month just because I was doing the whip go over here, so you guys can see that, and I'm really proud of the work I got done. But moving forward, that is going to be in its own show that I will put down below if you guys are interested, and it'll be Stitching with Nicci 79. So, all right, the rest of the admin, guys. I would like to make it a note. We have quarterly prize winners from the ones that are year-longs, and then monthly winners. So first and foremost is our Sock It To Me. You can first and foremost, you can enter any of these. Make-alongs with me. It's gonna take a while to say that. Enter any of these with me on Ravelry with the Got Whips podcast on Ravelry, that's linked down below. On Instagram, which is also linked down below, which all of them have their own hashtags. Or you can email me. My email is down below. It's gotwhips@gmail.com. And any of those ways, I will take the list from each place, put them in the number order, and then pull a number through random generate. I have the hiccups so bad, sorry. And if I don't have my random number generator Siri with me, I just ask my husband or my son to give me a random number between 2 and 60 or whatever it might be. So, that being said, this month's winner for Sock It To Me, which is a year-long knit-along, but I draw prizes every month. And so for March's winner was post number 3 on Ravelry, True Linda, and I will post a picture here, or here, I don't know which side it's going to come up on, of her socks. They were gorgeous. They were lacework socks, and you can send me a message on Ravelry, Instagram, or email for a pattern of $10 US dollars or under, and I will get that sent out to you as soon as possible. Next is the whip challenge, and all that is anything prior to 2023, January of 2023, cast it on, started, doesn't matter if it's knitting, crochet, cross stitch, sewing, any projects. We, because Heather was here then, we had asked you to set a goal. So tell us how many whips you would like to finish that you've had started prior to January. So it didn't matter if it was only 3 projects you had or 100, because that's a possibility. Some of us don't like to count our whips, or we count them separately. This is how many crochet I have. This is how many. You get the idea. I have a lot of whips, so there's no whip shaming here. Just whatever you have is fine. If you want to start another one, go for it. That's what I do. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. It's my yarn. It's my crafting. It makes me happy. So, the winner for this one was Hartley's Handmade, number 5. And she had finished, for that one, she had finished a washcloth. And it was a Christmas washcloth. So I'm assuming she started in December over Christmas break and finished it in January because she was having a baby. So congratulations on the baby. Congratulations on getting your whips done. I know you got that one, and then it looked like a baby sleeper. They were both very cute. The baby's really adorable. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Congratulations, Caitlin. I know it's been a few months. Sorry. Then the next one we're doing is a temperature. Again, anything goes. Knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, embroidery, quilting. I've seen some really beautiful quilts that are color, like temperature color wise. I want to do them all, and there's not enough time in the day. Sorry, thinking how I can make more time in the day, but not coming up with anything. If you got something, let me know. But that winner for the temperature was Stephanie Benson, and that Stephanie Benson won on Instagram, and I will put up a picture of hers probably in this corner, hopefully. She's doing, I think it's a scarf or a wrap, and it is gorgeous. She is from Florida, so she's had a lot of warmer temperature, brighter colors. It was absolutely stunning to watch, like the first few ones that I've seen of it. I'm gonna sneeze. But yeah, I want to be you when I grow up, Steph, because it's gorgeous. So get in contact with me, Ravelry, Instagram, email. Let me know what pattern you like off of Ravelry or not Instagram, Etsy for you, $10 US or under. Thank you. And lastly, our last make along is the Burra Cowl, and I am co-hosting this with several other podcasters. They're always listed down below. I know some of us are doing quarterly prizes, and those I am pulling, the quarterly prizes I am pulling, like this quarter I'm pulling from the Ravelry. Next month I'm going to pull from Instagram. And, so I'll get 2 winners off of Ravelry, 2 winners off of Instagram. First quarter and third quarter from Ravelry, second and fourth quarter off of Instagram, and then I will pull one each for the final one at the end of in January. So, and that winner this time was G Cookie. Number 2, you were the only one who entered on Ravelry, so you are the winner for this quarter. Yours is stunning. I can't believe you haven't finished already. Congratulations. So please get in contact with me of what pattern you'd like for $10 or under on Etsy or Ravelry. And for all these, I will post a picture of what their projects were. Okay, so a brief little update of why it's me, and that's basically, as you guys know, Heather has 4 children, and a job, and life is getting crazy for her right now with spring coming, summer. She's got 1 child graduating. She has 1 that's in full-time baseball all year round, but he has way more games and practices the nicer it gets. And then more tournaments, and they travel around. He's on a travel league, so it is very hard for her to be able to work full-time, plus do this, plus that. So she has asked to step back for a little while, and I am fine with that. I understand being crazy. So to coincide our schedules was kind of hard because she worked more like second shift. I work first shift. Weekends are hard for her. Weekends can be crazy for me at times. I'm on a lot of overtime also right now, so finished objects for my knitting. I do have 1. Don't be too shocked. I did not bring my sock lockers over. But last time you saw this was another pair of socks for Christmas that I was getting done. I had the 1, and I had just started. I only had 2 rows. So, it's all done. And guys, look. They 100% match. Oh, that's why I can't find the heel. Let's go in the other direction. But even the heels match. And then, magic, they even match in there. So, I'm very proud of this because if you've been around a while, again, you know that I don't really normally care about matching socks. But seeing these were going to be a Christmas gift, and I know there are people who this literally makes them twitch if their self-striping socks don't match. Not mentioning anybody. But, so I'm going to try to make my socks match. Now, the yarn for this was Knit Picks Felici in the colorway Endless Summer. And I have both of these skeins left. Plus, I have all this that I had to pull off the second ball to get to the same stripe. So, I have enough to make myself a pair of shorties. Or, you know, somebody else in my family who I have 2 size 5s and size 6s in my family. So, I don't think I'm going to put this away, this yarn. I think I'm just going to go on to the next, I dropped something out of this bag, sorry. Next pair of socks, because that way I won't have as much leftovers. And that is living in a small hobo bag that I used to make. So, this is one that I made. Toss that over there. All right. That is only a FO I have, guys. Sorry about that. I will try to do better. The next project I will show you is a new cast on. Also living in a hobo bag. This was the Halloween kit from last year. I absolutely love this bag. I love the dark polka dots on the inside. And this is a hat that a friend bought the yarn and asked me to make her some hats. It's Burra Sesame. Trying to pull out the yarn label. I stuck it in the ball. This is color 7418. The sesame. So, this is what the yarn looks like. It's pretty true to color. And I just casted this one on, I don't know, like a week ago. And I am almost to the crown decreases. So, this pattern is the common cap on Ravelry. It is a free pattern that links you to their website, and I was supposed to just do the 2x2 for 2.5 inches here in a size 5 knitting needle and then switch to a 7. Me and my husband were out that day when I got the inches and I had nothing else with me to knit on, and I didn't bring any of my other needles, so I decided to just go with the 5 all the way through. So that is the only change I made. My favorite is this dark blue with this. I just love that. So she has a pretty small head. So I feel like this is perfect for her. The density of the fabric, because I feel like the 7 would have just been too open for warmth here in Wisconsin. And that's why she wants it. So I'm kind of glad I didn't have the 7, because normally my first hat I make a pattern, but I'm glad I didn't do it and then realize that it was going to be too open, and then she would ask me to re-knit it and I wouldn't have enough yarn, and yeah, you guys understand. Then, for Whipco last month, for this month, is JJ's crochet blanket. This is a blanket I am making for my son. Oh boy, this is a hot mess. Typically I have this all folded. Okay, so every month I've been rotating between 2 blankets because I have 9 blankets on the needles, and one month I put 30 things, each day I work on it for a little while, and then the next month I change to something else just so I don't get bored. But this month, because I pulled the crochet blanket for JJ, I decided I wasn't going to work on the other blanket. Last time you saw it was down at that heart on the gray. So I got all of this. This pink marker here is just where I was when April 1st hit. So I got a few rows since then. And for Whipco, all it is I try to work on it 1 hour, 10 days. So I set a timer and then I work on it. And I try to do 10 hours on that said project for that month. So this one still needs 8 hours for April. But seeing it's been 80s for this week, I did not pull out this blanket to work on because it is quite warm. We do have severe storms moving in tonight into tomorrow. And then Monday we're supposed to be 40. Well, we're supposed to be 37 with snow. So that's when I'm going to get the hours put on this blanket. And that is living in my blankie bag that I made. I'm going to take a small sip quick. I forgot how much I talk when it's just me. And then my other Whip Go project for this month, living in my tote, my gnome tote, is a blast from the past. I want to say this is now 2 years old. This is my star blanket from Stephen West that we all started. A bunch of us started on Zoom, around the table Zoom, for Jack's 21st birthday. He wanted to get 23 of us to work on this, and I think he got like 27 of us, but I can't really show it well, but here's the middle where you started. And then I'm in this section. I've decided that I'm gonna not do the entire blanket like it calls for. I am just gonna do this section here, and then I'm going to I-cord off. I haven't decided what color I should I-cord off in. I'm thinking this dark gray. So last time you guys saw this was down here. So I got all this done this week. And I still have another 8 hours to put in on this. So, all this yarn is Sheepjust. This is Sheepjust Color Crafter. And I'm going to get these skeins so I can tell you what numbers they are. The lightest gray is 1203. And I will just put up the name there, I cannot pronounce that. Then the next gray is color 1099. There's that one. And the darkest is 2018. And the turquoise for the color pop that I used is 2015. Oop, sorry guys. There we go. And you can get all of that at Around the Table Yarns. They have an excellent website, excellent owners. You call, they'll help you out. They can get on. They're great. Pam and Beth are awesome people. They have Zooms. They have classes on Zooms also for people who are not in the area. They're just wonderful. So if you're in the area, go check them out. If you're not, I still like to consider them my local yarn shop because they have such great customer service online. And lastly, I cast it on. I frogged something and then took the yarn to use for a new cast on. So this is the new shawl by Stephen West. The eyelet burst. I did not get very much. I should probably show the right side, but like I said, I just got it casted on with the eyelet. The eyelet burst. So, and I'm gonna love working on it when I get a chance to. I just wanted to get on the needles. Seeing I took something off the needles, and I will work on it some more at some point. So I will show my colors. My colors are always on my Ravelry page too. I think. Actually, I'm going to pop in a picture because I have all the yarn that I used for the other one that I took apart in here. But I'll pop in a picture of all the colors I'm using in the order. It'll go from the yellow to the other, I think it's dark gray, black at the other end. So, but that is just living in a clear. But like I said, I have all the skeins. All 7 skeins from the one I took apart. So. And that is all the knitting that I'm just checking. All the knitting I've done. So the reason why there's not a lot of projects right now, guys, I have one work project, which there were socks, so now I moved to the hat. And then my 2 whip goat projects. And then I do need to put my sweater in rotation for the July meetup, my green sweater. And that is what I work on. The whip challenge last year did a little bit of good for me, but this year I'm pairing it with Whip Go. And so Whip Go was made by Jessie Make Stuff on FlossTube, and she just gives you, it's a bingo board is basically what it is. I'm trying to find mine. So sorry for the ruffle. I have 2 boards. One is cross stitch, one is knitting, which if you've been here a while, you know this. So this board came on a PDF that you can print off and do changes to. So this is my board. And I just put all the months down here and then highlighted them, and that's what these are. So I put all my projects in here that I had at the beginning of the year. And what I'm doing is I get whatever's pulled that month, I pull out. Those are the 2 projects I focus on. And then I have a work project, and then I normally, have a sweater is what I'm going to be having now. So, like, for March, the Brio band is the shawl that was in that bag with those 7 colors. But I still want to make that. Where I was, there was mistakes in the beginning. I didn't like it. I didn't want those mistakes. And so I pulled it out. And that's totally fine. I can come back to it later. But it helps me to touch those projects. And the ones that have been lingering for maybe 2 years or a year. And if I don't like it, I can just frog it. That's what I did. I crossed it off. Another one was here. In February, I had the butterfly cowl. I barely had anything on it. I had enough on it, but I couldn't read the pattern to know where I was. Like, I tried 4 different ways. And then I decided to just cross it off. Instead of crossing it completely off, I realized I didn't have my waves of change in here. So I just put that in place of it and finished that. So it's helping me to get either 10 hours on that project and get it finished, like I did for the waves of change, or to say, hey, this isn't a project you like right now, or you don't want this anymore. And it's okay, just take it off. So it's helping. All that to say, I don't know why I had to go through all that, but yeah, it's me. So, because I'm talking about Whip Go right now, I will tell you my Whip Go last month for March, for cross stitch was my, both numbers that were called, because I don't have a lot of cross stitch on, were for the same thing. They're on my board like 4 times, but it was the Christmas rules. So, when I started Whip Go this year, I was up here. Then in February, it was called the Christmas project. I got these 2 done, these 2 sections. So that left me all of this, and I got all of that finished for the month of March. So this is a complete finish. It's not an FFO, but it is a finish. And I absolutely am in love with it. I haven't decided if I'm going to get this professionally done, if I'm just going to stick it on sticky board. I don't know. I haven't decided. I can tell you that Christmas is one of my favorite things to stitch. The only thing I have to do, and you might have saw it, and I'll address it right now, is this little snowman has no eyes and no buttons. I cannot do the Estonian, but I don't remember what it is. I think it's the Estonian button. Too new to cross stitch. I tried. I watched many videos. So I went and I got little seed beads, and I'm just going to put beads on there. So that'll be something new and interesting for me. So, yeah. Plans for knitting. I'm going to keep working on both those blankets. My goal for the next 8 hours on the Star blanket is to get that as close to bind off or finish as possible. I haven't decided if I'm going to give that away to a friend of the family who is having a little boy, or if I'm going to put it in the hope chest, because I still have cousins who are planning on children. So I don't know yet. JJ's blanket, I'd like to see get a full repeat and a half of the 6 colors I'm using on his. Will that happen? I don't know. When it's hot, to work on that heavy and big of a blanket is hard. And I need to decide on his blanket if I'm going to turn it vertically or leave it horizontal with the stripes. If I leave it horizontal, it's going to fit. It'll be big enough for a queen size bed. If I turn it the other way, I can make it just for an extended twin for college. And that's kind of what this was supposed to be, was his high school graduation college gift from me. To leave, not to leave home, but to be away from home for his first year. So I'm open to suggestions. Maybe I'll put in the pictures I took of it both ways across our king size bed. I haven't decided. And that also means, you know, a lot more yarn. Yeah, I don't know. But with it getting warm, it's going to be a lot. And then, of course, to work on my green sweater, I need to pull that out and get it to sleeve separation and get it finished. Because that will become my even work knitting, because it's just round and around after I separate for the sleeves. So, I have no plans to cast anything else on, which is surprising for me, but I'm really, really enjoying working and focusing on those projects on that month and then switching. I did put all of my projects, I went back to using Tiny Decisions, so I'm going to show you guys. I did go back, and now I have one for just my knitting whips, and then I have a board just for April Whip Go because of the 2 boards, so I have 4 projects to focus on. And then for my knitting projects, I have all of these. So that way I can just spin it on a weekend like Makeathon weekends, because I know Chicken Lady Fiber Arts does a Makeathon weekend. I know sometimes I just need something fresh just to make my knitting mojo come back. And I'd like, before I start that other pair of socks with the leftovers from the socks I just finished, I want to get these other socks that I started during the 12 days of cast-ons off the needles first, and then I'll go back and make more. So that is my plans. Acquisitions for knitting. I only have my monthly minis. I've been doing really well this year. So from Lady Men Fiber Arts, sorry for the crinkle, but there are the 5 that I got. And so we are on S's. This one here is the last one in alphabetical order, so it's Steve and Andy. So I don't know how many more S's we have, but yeah, this club, or this monthly thing, was 4 years, so in April of next year is when we're supposed to be finished, and then they'll start repeating it. I would like to keep going for the next year with that, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll get a different subscription, maybe I'll keep the minis, because there's so many mini projects, scrappy mini projects I want to do, that maybe I'll just keep going, because they add at least 12 new colorways every year too. So all things to consider. I don't know yet, but that is all I have. Thank you for spending your time with me. Oh, I know what I was going to do. The wrap up for my March wrap up. So, don't fall. For March wrap up, when we started March, I had started the month with 32 projects. That's 6 blankets, 7 sweaters, 5 pairs of socks, 3 hats, and I had 10 shawls. So I did not add anything in the month of March. The hat was added this April, so that doesn't count. I didn't finish anything in March. I finished those socks also in April. I did finish the cross stitch, but that's on a different count. And so I ended with 31, and I frogged one. I frogged the Brio band shawl. So, and that's what I replaced that other one with. So we will see how well I do for this month. I'm hoping, even though I technically added a project, the hat, I'm hoping to get that off the needles before May. So it'll be crossed on and off right away. But that is all. I hope everybody has a nice, lovely 2 weeks. I think I'm coming back to you before Mother's Day, but if not, happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody is enjoying their spring. Happy knitting.